Okay, let's continue with lesson 3-3. Now that we're talking about introduce constant rate of change or slope, we're going to look at the equation of a linear equation, right? And the first one we look at is what's called a slope-intercept form. And you may have seen it before. It looks like this right there. Y equals mx plus b. M is the slope, b is the vertical or y-intercept. And in this earlier example, this here was our linear equation. We used b and t because those variables actually mean something, your blood alcohol content, time. In general, if we don't have any meaning, we just say y equals mx plus b. And so what is this number here? There's your slope. And what does that tell us? That blood alcohol content's dropping 0.05% per year, or negative 0.05% per hour. And the y-intercept is what the initial blood alcohol content was after he drank his 3 drinks. So let's look at some other situations here. Joyce is saving for a trip. A is 200T plus 1,000. Now each of those variables means something. Amount in dollars she expects to have saved in T weeks. Find the slope. The slope in this case would be 200. The y-intercept would be 1,000. And in the slope, the 200 would be $200 per week, because those are our variables, dollars in weeks. So keep that in mind there as we apply some of these examples here. These are just going to be, our first examples are just going to be like practice problems, so we don't say any word problems. And so after we have an equation like this, after we recognize a linear equation, we want to make a graph of it. And so we're going to graph using the slope and intercept. And so, for example, in a problem like this, here's an equation. Y equals negative 2/3 x plus 5. You can see here is the y-intercept 5. Y-intercept is where the line crosses the y-axis. And then the slope is negative 2/3. So one way, again, as you read through this, though, the way I think about it is kind of drawing a slope triangle. There's your rise over run, rise over run. Negative, it's decreasing. The bottom part is your change in your x. The top part, your change in your y. So you can see 3, 2, 3, 2. And so plotting points allows you, it's a fast way of graphing, moving to the right and moving down. We're doing that because the values are negative. Let's look at this example here. So on a problem like this, we identify the slope and y-intercept. Notice the y-intercept's 1, so I know I'm going to have a point right there. The slope is 2/1. So what's going to end up happening, let's see if I get another color here. What's going to happen is we're going to rise 2 and then over 1. And so then that becomes the other point right there, 2/1. And so then we have a graph. Right, we have a graph. Sorry, a little sloppy there, but we have a graph of that line right there. Y equals 2x plus 1. And so there would be the graph of that. I want to show you this on Desmos real quick. So you would go to desmos.com. There it is, start graphing. In that last problem, y equals 2x plus 1 right here. Let's go ahead and put that into Desmos. You just type it in as is, y equals 2x plus 1. So you can see you have your intercept there, and you can see other points over 1. There it is, right there. There's the other point, 1, 3. That's the point we plotted. You can get closer, get perfect. And so you have that there. You have that point right there. So you can then see there's a graph there. You can also, to get points that this is, you can also hit this here, this edit button. Let me get over there real quick there. This edit button, and then add a table. And then you see it converts it to a table, and see there's some nice points there. And so that's one way to do, use this on Desmos. We can even do the other one, the negative 2/3 x plus 5. Let's try that one. Y equals negative 2/3 x plus 5. And so you can see those values come up there. You can see different values from the graph there. And if you wanted to make a table again, you hit the hit that gear and then table, and you can see a table's created showing you different values for the graph.